Hey, Cheryl, Ling, good to live to see another day. Yes, I decided to put that flag right behind me as a permanent memorial of the brave men and women in America that fought. I'm serious about this, so when I become patriotic uh, because of all the people around me, I'm literally meaning like when I went to the gym, there were folks that just hate America. And I'm not a historian and no way an expert, but I remember the so-called the rape of Nanking. What happened is that during the Chinese-Japanese Sino War, Japan had butchered, literally they took over Nanjing, which is the capital. I was impressed, so impressed that when I was a child, I've seen black and white photographs of these Japanese soldiers that really like just picking live people apart with bayonets, and they were stabbing a pregnant woman after they raped them, and picking the womb with the bayonet to take out the fetus. I mean, just horrific things like that. And they were smiling with their go-to, comrades taking pictures and so forth. Why do I want to mention that? With the Battle of Midway, where Nimitz, the captains in the battleships, the soldiers, I'm talking about the Navy, the great naval force of America that had fought Japan, and that was during the heat of the World War II. So you have to know a little bit about history. You got to know your past. America saved our ass because there was no turning back. Japan were so ambitious and they were so brutal. You can see it for yourself, the rape of Nanking. And I just found out there is a book, this lady Chan wrote a book about it, the rape of Nanking. The butcher, I mean, that's worse than the Holocaust. I would say, yeah, that's a Chinese Holocaust, and it was worse because they were more brutal, just to scare you. You know how like ISIS, they would cut off people's heads, and just like Kathy Griffin, I guess she's a sworn enemy of the United States because she had cut off head of Donald Trump. So I made a video about it. I guess some people thought it was a little controversial. I had a chopstick in a grapefruit. I mean, what is a grapefruit? It's hilarious. Anyway, so I kind of, I don't care, I kind of just got pretty angry, and I think that apology was not sincere by Kathy Griffin. No, she just wanted to make a name for herself, but it's understandable just how low can you get. Which that brings me to my thoughts about how America saved China's ass, literally. And I want all these liberal, so-called liberal judges that went to school in America. I'm talking about in particular Chan. I don't know about the other liberals. I mean, the Ninth Circuit Court, they were so liberal. When I say liberal, meaning these people hate America. And they're educated in America, and they live in America. They live and breathe in this land, so-called the land of the free, that had people that have shed their blood to give you this land of freedom. And I don't know why they hate us so much. They hate the United States so much. Seriously, without America, I said that, and I repeat it again, that China will be bowing to the land of the rising sun, or the flag with a big circle in it would be like goshi goshi, sashioki, or we'll have different names like Nobu. That's an easy name. You see what I'm saying? I mean, not to harp on the past, because my generation, we have people died in battlefield. Yes, my ancestor, and it's a long story, so I'll tell it another day. But the fact that we were killed by Japanese, all right, my great-great-grandfather, were brutally killed because he was a general and a brigade commander So we know that our weaponries are were inferior, a lot inferior. And Japanese were smart, and they had, they built battleships and warplanes, and they had all the modern weapons that we did not have. So they killed a lot of us, and they were gathering all these tens of thousands of people to dig a huge trench so that they could bury them. It's one of those humiliation things that they were taking pictures. As I've said, I've seen pictures. I've seen it, and you will find it if you want to find it. For real, that the Japanese soldiers were raping the Chinese women. They were pregnant, and deliberately, they gang raped them and deliberately used the bayonet. The bayonet, if I didn't pronounce it correctly, be very clear, it's what goes on the tip of your rifle. If you're a soldier, you have a rifle, and then at the end, just in case you're stuck, or your bullets are stuck, so they put bayonets. It's like a little machete, a spear on top of your rifle. So they use the bayonet and stick. As I was thrusting this motion, and thrust it into the woman's bosom and picked out the fetus that was in her, and happily put a leg over her dead body, and have their comrades taking that picture as a trophy. That's why that is so detestable what Griffin has done, Kathy Griffin, because she was lifting up the head of Donald Trump as a trophy. You see what I'm saying? So these people, I don't know whether they knowingly or unknowingly, they sold out to the enemy, and you need to wake them up. We cannot be sold out to the adversary. China owes, I want to say thank you, America. We owe America, men and women, and France owe America. Everybody owes America, but why do they hate America? This is really crazy. That's why I think it is wise, like Donald Trump is saying, why are we doing all this for everybody? Because we're getting our ass kicked, right? We're trying to save your ass. For example, let me just skip forward, because I was going to say that this liberal justice named Chong, that who denied this Donald Trump's executive order of protecting us. We're just saying stop. We don't know what these people are. What are their intentions? Like San Bernardino, or all these people are coming in this day and age. It's not about free immigration. It's about protecting ourselves from aliens. You have to understand, they're not immigrants, aliens. If you watch the movie Aliens, you don't know where they come from, what their intentions are. They can pretend like a Trojan's horse. They're here, we're here for peace, and then once they come out of their Trojan horse, and boom, 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 right? They wreak havoc in your land. Just look at Manchester. Little girls going to concerts are getting killed. And then we have Chong, C-H-I-N-G. I think this liberal justice. I'm just criticizing these people. And Derek Watson in Hawaii. Hawaii is the most liberal. Without America, Hawaii would be part of Japan. They might as well be part of Japan because there's so many Japanese there. But anyways, so what I'm saying is that I personally say thank you, America, for saving our ass. And why is it so important right now? Because it is important. The Battle of Midway. People just don't know about history, or the liberal schools have covered it up. They don't want you to learn the true history. They're saying America. They're trying to change all the textbooks by saying America is evil, we invaded everybody. Come on. It hasn't been that long when we're in the Desert Storm. What had occurred, if you remember what had occurred, is Saddam Hussein, the dictator, right, from Iraq, went into Kuwait because he declared that Kuwait really belonged to the old Iraq, the old, I guess the caliphate, the so-called caliphate. And he believes that also he can prove it as a part of the map. So obviously there's a lot of oil, so he went into Kuwait and conquered Kuwait. Remember, there were they were scared shitless. They were in hiding in exile. Everybody was shaking. I'm talking about these rich princes in Kuwait. So what happened? Our guys went in there, all right, from the United States. Remember that. We saved your ass. The reason why I said that because I ran into a woman from Kuwait and a woman from Iraq. I don't know why, simultaneously in the gym sauna. And they were just so brainwashed by the liberal. They said, no, America is evil. But I go, where are you from? And literally, she came from Kuwait. Maybe it was the refugee status. I don't know. I didn't ask. But the other woman, she's aspired to become an actress, but she's from Iraq. But they're saying exactly the same thing. They're saying that America is evil, that we go around and try to establish a dictatorship and feed into the Saddam Hussein thing. And, you know, that how America really is the root cause of all the problems. And I suppose that's why they have to be here to invade us now. Is that what it is? Because obviously they hate us so much and they are still here. So all I said was saved your ass. Literally. I mean, this is so ironic when I say literally. Literally, ironically, we saved your ass, all right? In Iraq, we saved your ass, all right? There are people that actually die in ditches, in tanks, because I remember when a war was happening, every second, every moment. I'm talking about Desert Storm, you know, when we have to go into all the cities like Mosul, oh shoot, my hand really hurts now holding this selfie stick, $15 selfie stick. You know, when we're trying to take back all the cities that were taken by the Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein, or we're trying to drive them out. There was like a big battle. You know, I don't remember all the cities, but I know Kurds were fighting like up in remote areas, and you know, so we were going into Baghdad. Specifically, there was a tank that our men were in it. Somehow it fell into the Euphrates River. And since the tanks were all enclosed, and these folks, poor folks, I mean, our soldiers were drowned. So our people died, all right? Our people died, our soldiers died. And not to mention the military power, the operation caused gazillions of dollars. And we did not get one dime for reciprocation. And guess what Obama did? Obama gave it all away to ISIS. You see, now who's got a gripe? No, we got a gripe. I got a gripe. If I were, you know, the family of the fallen soldiers, I would really have a gripe against Obama because he gave it all away. He took away our presence, our protection. So, I don't know how this was. The Iraqi woman that was here. Anyways, she hates America as well. So I was just saying, it is simple logic. Why don't you go back to Kuwait, to the woman from Kuwait, and go back to Iraq? Because, you know, you think America is so bad. Why in the world are you here and sucking up our resources? Seriously, not just the land you occupy and the hatred you breathe towards our country, but literally, you know, I didn't know before, the refugees, so-called refugees, that America takes in, it's not like, you know, your neighbor gets beat up and they say, well, can we come and stay with you for a couple of days, right? You know, like your neighbor's wife get beat up or whatever. No, there is no end to it. We're paying them to stay here permanently. It's a path to citizenship when you granted a refugee status. And your families, or that's why there's so much fraud in the Somali refugees, because they were applying for shit for people. There's no way to verify if they're really related. They're like all of a sudden 100 people are applied by one refugee. Oh, this is all my family, cousins, blah blah blah, in Bangduga village. So there's so much fraud, and they're sucking America dry. We just can't allow this to happen continuously. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is to know your history and don't be blinded by people saying America is evil, and like those people in UC Berkeley who assumably they were for free speech, but that's what liberal does. They want to shut you down if for your free speech, they only want to talk about how their free speech is against Trump, against America, and against the founding father and what we have established ourselves on this land, it's to respect the land, okay? Just respect the land. And the people that got educated here, Stanford, Harvard, whatever, you know who you are. I'm talking about those liberal judges. Why do you turn against America? Really, if without America, you would probably be serving sushi and going, hail to the risen sun. So, yeah, let's just really have some introspection, and that's my thoughts. I don't know if, you know, it's funny. It doesn't really matter because I wasn't trying to be funny. I'm just saying, you know, I am grateful as a Chinese person that America saved China, saved our ass. You know, if not for America, we'd have lost that war miserably. And during the Midway battle, obviously, we lost some ships and we lost some planes. And I just saw a little bit of footage of that by that World War II veterans, and few of them are left, but you can still see footage of it. So just Google and search it and see it for yourself, that how these battles were won and people's lives are lost so that we can be here and enjoy the sunshine. And let's not, you know, let's have some respect. Let's not put down this country. Okay, so respect the presidency, respect Donald Trump, and let's not, like, you know, going out there and start hating and kicking people's ass and break a bike lock over their heads. You know what I'm saying? Just because they respect the country. Okay, let me see, how am I gonna